Alright, here we are at the first major area of the game, Firelink Shrine. Here, you can finally level up your character if you so choose. Excuse me. If you have humanities, you can pop them and kindle the bonfire, which... Actually, you can't kindle this bonfire at the moment. Also, if you have humanity, you can reverse hollow into a human. I might do that in a bit. Right now, I have stuff I need to pick up. So there's 3 humanities right off the bat. Don't worry, I'll come back and talk to that guy in a minute. I just want to pick up some items first before I talk to any NPCs in this area. So yeah, there's some firebombs back there. We can talk to this guy, and I will talk to this guy eventually. He's got an interesting bit of dialogue. Well, interesting in the sense that you have to talk to him several times. And yeah, if you drop down at that elevator part up there, you can walk out this way, find a bunch of chests. The Morning Star is a strength-based weapon. It's got bleed on it. The Talisman is a faith-based item that allows you to cast miracles. Cracked Red Eye Orb is for multiplayer. Homeward Bone takes us back to the last bonfire we were at. And the last chest is Wood's Talisman, which is mostly multiplayer related. It has some uses in single player. The graveyard you don't actually necessarily want to mess with this early on in the game. I am going to run through it here in a minute, but I want to go back to the bonfire first. Oh. I am playing, I am logged in right now, so the game is online. There are other people playing. You could see like a shade at the bonfire, which is another person. So I'll go ahead and take a moment to talk to this guy.
Well, what do we have here?
I'm not really going to let his dialogue play like the last one. There are subtitles on the screen. You can read them.
But there's no salvation here.
He basically just gives us our objective, which is ringing the bells of awakening.
One's up above in the undead church.
The undead church, which you can
far below. Ring them.
see if you can actually see it from here. I kind of skipped through that last bit. I apologize, but you can't really see the undead church. It's over that way, which is going to be our first stop. The other one, which he says down below, has a few different ways to get to it. I'll be heading down to showing an area in a minute. I want to go to the graveyard after I talk to this guy over here. Yeah, there's a lot of like just random crap that you want to do in this area.
I am Petrus of Thorough. If not, I prefer...
So this guy, he just kind of gives you a little bit of dialogue and seems like nothing of it. So let's talk to him again.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we... But I also want you to know... Here. No, go ahead.
This item's pointless. I mean, that's the best way to put it. It is pointless.
Oh my. Oh, I know. I have to await. So what if I would that please?
Yes, I want to learn miracles.
Very well.
Don't really want to join his covenant, but it doesn't really matter, so I'll join the covenant. I'm actually probably not even going to learn miracles as it is, but I just want to get through his dialogue.
Let me share mine. Only their ultimate effective...
Because I'm not a faith-based character. And I want to learn his gesture. It has no importance to the story, but I just want to learn it.
Come again.
Because,
the effective...
you know, why not? You know, why not? So, now I'm going to get the items in the graveyard. There are several items over there. One I might actually use on this character. at some point, because I've never really tried it out much before. So, yeah, let's get this. That's a large soul. That'll just basically give us a bunch of souls that we can use to level up or buy things or whatever we want to use our souls for. It's also another soul. You do not really want to fight these guys this early on. They're pretty tough. And yeah, you can just run through the majority of these guys. And we're done. Well, I say we're done with that graveyard at least. There's still a couple more items in the area that we can pick up before we head to a different place. And resting at the bonfire resets the enemies, which is why I rested. It's not because I took a little bit of damage. If you've killed enemies, they also get resetted by resting at the bonfire, so watch out for that. Now, if I see, I can come up here and go around the edge and get another item. Okay. Now, out of the items that I've just picked up, there was the soul items, which, as I mentioned, just give you amounts of souls when you use them. There's also the winged spear, which, let's go ahead and take a look at that, because I might actually use that. I've never really used it before. See, I need 13 strength, and I've already got the dexterity required. I may decide to go for that, but then again I may not, because the bandit's knife has the bleed and it has extra critical damage on it, so I might just stick with that. Also picked up this Y-Honder, which requires a fuck ton of strength to use. Well, not really compared to some other weapons. If you have, I think it's 16? Yeah, if you have 16 strength, you can actually wield this in two hands, because two-handing a weapon gives you half as much strength back onto your strength. So it's pretty powerful if you have relatively high strength early on. Something like Bandit, you could probably use that pretty early with. There's one more on the graveyard that I'm not going to bother picking up right now. It's just binoculars, and the binoculars are useless. Now, I'm not going to level up just yet. I think I'm going to try to save my souls for a little bit. And we're going to go down here. She doesn't talk. But you'll notice she has this option to reinforce Estus Flask, and it says you need a Firekeeper soul. Well, I like to go ahead and have a reinforced Estus Flask at the beginning of the game. This is a totally optional thing to do, and, you know, for new players, might not want to do it. Me, I live boldly, so I'm going to do it. There's a real risk of dying here, but I frankly don't think I will. I've done this enough times that I'm pretty comfortable in it. Again, I'm just kind of killing some of these guys because of free souls, but most people won't. Now, if you come down here, you can find the first blacksmith of the game. He's not going to be very helpful, though.
And more importantly, you're free. Well, I'm Ricky Vinna. I was once an established smith. Can you believe it?
And he won't do anything the first time. You gotta talk to him again.
Have you? It's safe here. I can't bear the thought of... Although, I must admit, how about this? I'll show you what made me the...
So, you can, like I said, he's a blacksmith, so you can modify your equipment if you have the means to modify, and unlike most of the blacksmiths in the game, he does not sell the means to modify your weapons. He does sell a couple of magics, which I can't remember if the sorcerer has heavy soul arrow at the beginning. If they don't, then here's where you can actually buy it early on. Here's where you can get a catalyst if you do want to cast spells. I think my character actually has a pretty high intelligence, so I could cast spells. You can also repair your weapons and armor here if you so choose, which is nice to have that early on. But otherwise, he doesn't really have anything that is going to help us at all.
Come back soon. Smithing, don't let me
Now, later on, if we decide to make magic weapons, which, spoiler alert, I will not, then we can get magic weapons from him. But, I mean, you know, I'm not a magic user. And I just remembered an item that I missed back here because I did that little stupid jump off the top there. I'm just so used to, like, going through the quicker sort of means to get off of this. You can actually, if you jump off there just right, you can... Yeah, I seem to remember you being able to hop onto this right here and then hop down from there. You'll take a little bit of fall damage though, so I don't tend to do it that way. There's an item over here. With most characters, you'll kill these guys in one hit, so it's kind of sucks playing as the bandit, and I can't kill those guys so easily. What did this guy do to die right here? I have to see. Okay, don't do that, basically. Have a little bit more sense about yourself than to fall off trying to kill that guy. These transient curses will essentially give you a fake curse on your character, which is only helpful for one area of the game. You know, how about a prize to anyone who can guess which area it is? It's this area, but you notice I didn't use one. Why didn't I use one? Well, oh, crap. Okay, actually, I'm gonna back up and let those guys reset themselves. If they do that, I hope they do that, actually. I forgot something very important. Okay, before doing that, what I wanted to do was to put, there it is, a homeward bone in my second slot. And then I want to go back across here. That was the whole reason I took damage there, is because I completely forgot about putting the homeward bone, and I sort of had that realization for a moment. So you want to go through here, and you just kind of want to, I know it's a very small bridge, but you just want to run across, and then homeward bone out. I've messed this up, something fierce, so I'm gonna die. You have to be quick about it. You can't do what I just did there, which is completely just nod out of what you're trying to do. So I'm gonna give it one try to go back and recover what I've lost. If you die, you notice you lose all your souls down there. If you were human, you also revert back to undead. If you had any humanity, in the top left you can see that 00 counter. If you have humanity, you won't have 00s there, you'll have numbers. But if you had any humanity on you when you died, it'll be dropped as well. That, quite frankly, shouldn't have happened. I just kind of choked a little bit. Didn't properly use the homeward bone. Shit happens. What am I gonna do about it? I mean, luckily the walk's not too bad. It is a walk, and it is a very dangerous walk. But with any luck, I'll get those souls back. I perhaps should have just leveled up earlier, but oh, now it sets to yes. That's ridiculous. Anyway, got that all back. I could kill this guy right now if I wanted to. In fact, you can kill any NPC in the game if you just kind of want to. It's not advised, certainly. That guy's pretty tough for early on, and the only reward you get from him is 1,000 souls, which is hardly worth it. So came down here, reinforced my Estus Flask with that Firekeeper soul we picked up, and now we have Estus Flask +1, which will heal us a little bit more than the Estus Flask normally would. And that means we've cleared out Firelink Shrine, so we can finally make a move on to the next part of the game. So you can go through the graveyard if you're just, I don't know, if you're stupid, basically. I wouldn't recommend it. The best time to go through the graveyard is usually after you're a little bit too powerful for it to be a challenge. So I might actually show off going to the graveyard at an intended point. But, and that's quotation marks around the intended point. No one's really sure of the intended point that you're supposed to go to the graveyard. But there are some ideas. Well, somehow I didn't take damage there. Watch out for the fire bombs. Their hitbox kind of sticks around for a little bit. Dang it. When I get up here, I usually go straight for this guy. Oh, hey. Why did the firebomb guy decide to attack me? He never does that. Better for me, though. And this guy will make a jumping attack most of the time. He did not this time. Way to make me a liar. So I took a lot of ridiculous damage against those guys. It's not really something that you should be doing. If you just came in here normally, you might not even think to look down that way, but you should. You should always, when you go through a door, make sure you look at your surroundings. In fact, if it's your first time playing through the game, I honestly, first of all, I don't recommend taking the Thief class. I recommend taking something like Knight or Warrior. And pretty much everywhere you go, do this. If you're going somewhere new, do this. Just hold your shield up and slowly walk up, and then look around as much as you can. When you get like a corner that you can look at, look in that corner. Because oftentimes you'll find enemies there. So you have to just come up to the very tip top of the stairs there. You'll only aggro that guy. And then this guy you can take out easily. And I'll just backstab him. There's going to be a few items to get in this area. We're going to see if we can make the jump over here. You see that little walkway right there? We're going to see if we can make the jump. It's a bit tricky. There's like some invisible walls at that spot. It's easy to make the jump from there to there. Oh, that worked. But it's a bit difficult to make the... I mean, when I say... It's easy to make the jump from here to there, but to make the jump from the stairwell to here is a little bit trickier. So that means we can get at this area from the backwards way. Which, you know, not sure if we call that easier or harder. We'll just call it different. Okay, I accidentally did a kick there, but I'll show more about the kick later. I actually thought I was going to hit both of them. That's why I kept on swinging. I don't really mind using my Estus a little bit here. I mean, we got 10 drinks because of the bonfire at Firelink Shrine. Well, that was a stupid. Yeah, I haven't showed off all the different attacks. So there's one-handed attacks. This is light. Then there's strong. Then there's two-handed light. Two-handed strong. Then there's one-handed jumping attack. Two-handed jumping attack. Oh, there we go. Well, let's try that again. There we go. Then there's one-handed backstep attack, which is the same as your dashing attack. There's one-handed rolling attack. Let's try that again. Okay. Two-handed backstep attack. Two-handed rolling attack. Again, the backstep attack is the same as your dashing attack, just to show. And then you have your kick. I think that covers pretty much the entirety of the moveset. Oh, I forgot this guy was back here. And I went too far as to where I was trying to go. I was trying to go right here. This item is really easy to miss. In fact, I missed it like most of the time I played this game. People can leave little messages on the ground as well. Most of them pointless. Just outright pointless. Some of them are funny, but most of them are pointless. I think by this point, most players would assume that there's not going to be any new players in the game, so they probably just leave messages that bear no meaning. Like, why is there a message here? What does it say? Humanity. Like, I couldn't just pick it up and find out myself. Seriously. What does this message say? Be wary of thrust. Like, come on. Seriously? The guy's a firebomb thrower, as you can tell. And I just decided to backstab him, actually. Yeah, never mind. There's not an item in here. Now, just because there's a fog wall doesn't mean that there's a boss behind it. And in fact, I just realized I forgot an item. So we're going to have to go back around and go up that ladder. My bad. This area, I mean, every area in the game can be tricky if you don't know what to expect. But it is certainly a, I think a really nice challenge for new players. I think this is a very appropriate starting area. Now, it looks like you might be able to jump across that. I've never been able to. I don't know why that says try being to a pulp. I don't know why that says... Oh, no, I know why that says imminent Drake. So, you don't want to go too far forward. I think you can get hurt by that. Be wary of enemy. Thanks. I should really stop looking at these. They're just going to piss me off. So, you can see there's an archer right there. We got an enemy right here. We also have 2 or 3 more enemies in this area. I think it's, excuse me, I think it's just 2. You can see the guy on the stairs back there. Of course, the guy shooting at us. And there's a dude, you can see him kind of bobbing his head back there behind all that wood. So we'll try to trigger these guys, you know, one at a time. So that's the way you want to take out things if you're new to the game. That jumping attack does not go as far as I think it will. Okay, now I can just kind of run in here and feel a little bit more confident taking out this guy. Honestly, I feel pretty confident just running in here and taking out all 3 anyway, but it's not what I'm doing here. I'm just showing the right way to do it. They also dropped an item. We'll check that out in a second. Over here you can get the wooden shield. If you're playing something like Wanderer or Pyromancer or Cleric or Sorcerer, then that shield's probably going to be better than what you have. For me though, I'm probably going to keep this one because it does parry a little bit better than other shields. The window timing is just better. This guy drops some of his armor, it sucks. End of story, basically. Okay, these guys, I do want to go ahead and take them out. They mostly keep their shields up. So this is where you kind of learn that kicking is important. And also, I didn't really mean to get both of those guys aggroed. Come on. I could firebomb them, but that kind of defeats the point, I feel. I don't know, you could if you prefer to. I don't use firebombs much in the game anyway, so these guys would not be too bad to firebomb. So, he's gonna, for some reason, swing at me, which is rare, so I'm just gonna backstab this dude. Sorry, I don't get to show off the kick. There we go. There's the kick. Basically, it breaks their guard, so you can get in there and take them out. Right here, it's probably just, yeah, just some nice sand that you can go through here. You just break the boxes, roll through them. Simple. There is an ambush back here. Let's go ahead and trigger it. And we have our first merchant. Well, if you don't count the blacksmith in New Londo.
Well now, you seem to have your wits, and then you are. I trade for souls.
And so as you can see, you do use souls for currency in this game. If you don't have the master key, you want to pick up the resonance key. Even if you do have the master key, you want to pick up the resonance key at some point in the near future anyway. There's a door that can only be opened with the resonance key a little bit later on in the game. If you don't have a bow, you can pick one up from him, which is right here, short bow. Looks like I can wield it. So I think I'm probably going to go ahead and pick it up. I'm just trying to remember if there's anything else. Oh yeah, gonna pick up that. That's really cheap. It's just so you can put down messages as well. Sells a chain set, which I think is decent. It's got a little bit of poise on each piece. Poise I'll talk about later, because I'm not going to pick up the chain set, so I'm not going to talk about it now. I think... If you don't have a 100% attack reduction shield, you can pick up the heater shield here, which does have 100% attack reduction. I think I'm going to pick up the short bow. I'm going to pick up some wooden arrows. Not that many wooden arrows. I think probably around 250, I think is good. just for
Thank you, kind.
aggroing some enemies from afar if I need to. And that leaves me with a little bit of souls left. But I'm going to go over here first. There's still a couple more things I want to get. I'll go ahead and equip that bow and some arrows. Okay, that was a failed parry. Maybe we'll be able to parry this guy. Or maybe we'll just stand there and take it. Okay. Now I'll show off the bow. You want to two-hand it. You can use L1 to bring up this little aiming reticule, and you can use the D-pad to aim in a little bit closer. Doesn't matter if I hit these guys in the head. The wooden arrows do so little damage anyway. Okay, I say that, but then again, these guys are really weak, so there's that. Okay, I'm rolling a little bit slower now, so I'm going to take off my leather gloves. And there I roll fast again. Let me go ahead and take a look at the equipment load here. You see it's 10.8 out of 49. You basically... There's little points in which your roll changes. If you're at 25% or less, then you have that fast roll. If you are above 25%, below 50%, you have the other roll that you saw, the one that was a little bit slower. And then if you're at 50% or above up until, 100%, you get this really slow, tanky roll. Most people call it fat roll. It really does look like a very large person trying to roll. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, why buy the short bow when, first of all, you got throwing knives right there. By the way, that's limited quantity. But then also we can finally jump across this gap, and we can pick up the light crossbow and some bolts. Now, I pick up the short bow because the short bow can actually be aimed. The crossbow is sort of really weird in this game. It can't be aimed, so you're kind of stuck using it in like medium range combat, and I don't like that at all. I really don't like that at all. Dark Souls 2 does allow you to aim the crossbow, so I've seen, so that's kind of cool, but not in this game. So come in here and there's a bonfire. It's going to be a very important bonfire for the area. I'm going to go ahead and level up once as well. Kind of want to use the winged spear, so I'm going to go ahead and put a point into... Well, no. Let's see. Let me actually look at how my stats change here. I'm going to put a stat into endurance. That way, maybe I can put those gloves back on. No. Unfortunately, no. Oh well. That does give me a little bit extra stamina, and it gave me 1 pound more of my equip load that I could equip. Alright, so these guys have respawned. I really didn't want to take that bolt. That guy, yeah, he was going to attack. The other guy will stay where he's at. It's not a big deal. That jumping attack's terrible. I'm so used to jumping attacks that are actually good. There's a bunch of firebomb throwers from over there. You can try to snipe them if you want to. Hey, might as well. Yeah, they don't die in one hit like the other guys. There's one more that we can't quite see. It's around behind that turret, or spire, whatever you want to call it, tower. But we're not interested in him. We're interested in that guy that's just a little bit inside your peripheral vision. These guys are really easy to backstab. The ones with the, well, really all of them are, but the guy was with the axe especially, because they just stand there and wait for it. That guy busted in through the door. And he got a hit on me because of crap, basically. You can see a little bit of that bleed got on him. Guess we'll go ahead and drink another Estus. This area is almost over, and after it's over, I'll go ahead and call it quits for now. Again, I keep thinking I can do that jumping attack, but I really can't. There's some of those black fire bombs I was talking about earlier. That was one of the gifts. There's a guy behind the wall. I thought about killing him, but then I remembered that there's absolutely no reason to kill him. There's nothing back there. So, why bother? I mean, really, there's nothing back there. You can kind of see him if you get right here to the door and kind of look around that corner. You can see him. If you're wondering what just happened to me, because I'm playing online, I get affected when other people kindle bonfires. And so, someone just kindled a bonfire, and that actually gave me 1 extra Estus flask. So thank you, random person who happens to be playing right now and kindled their bonfire. Okay. This guy come down here. That's a good way to take out that situation. The dude that was in the middle that I killed first, he's a firebomb thrower, so that can kind of make this particular situation a little bit problematic. Right over here, you can go up these stairs and then go up the ladder, and you can find this is where the this is where the firebomb throwers from earlier are. You can see there's still that one left that I couldn't before. I don't even care if he fell off. It doesn't even matter to me. Still got his souls. If he drops something, he drops something. Big whoop, whatever. Now, if you didn't have the master key, this is where you would need to use the residence key first. But if you have the master key, you just use the master key to come in here. And there's gold bond resin, which will come in handy soon. And from getting that, we actually aggroed this guy. It's another one of the spear wielders. He's gonna move his slow ass up here. Take for fucking ever. You can see we got a little bit of bleed on him too. I almost always look, but I know there's nothing back there. It's just one of those habits. I wouldn't mind one of these hollow soldiers to drop their waistcloth. I do like the hollow soldier waistcloth for like a couple of random things in the game. Now, if you've got someone locked on, you can just shoot an arrow at them without having to aim. It's good if you're close enough to shoot, but not close enough to aggro. And there's like multiple enemies, like there was in that case. There's only this guy left down here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go down. Now, we're almost to the boss, finally. There's just a couple more things in the way. First things first, I'm not going to take out this guy. I'll probably do it next episode. That dude down there, he's pretty tough. Probably most new players shouldn't even bother with him, because all he's guarding is a treasure that's not even that useful. Okay, right here you can do one of three things. Let me actually say that. You can either jump down, you can see where the rocks have crumbled on the railing right there. Or you can go back down the stairwells real quickly. Or you can fail both of those two options and get hit in the face with a barrel. I really wasn't counting on number 3. I was trying to do number 2. If you have the master key, you can open up this door. There, at the bottom of this stairwell, is a very, very hard enemy, who I'll also be worrying about next episode. He has a very good item to get that new players will definitely want. The problem is he's very tough for new players. There's a secret enemy in here. It's called a crystal lizard. It's a little bit easier to kill with different weapons from different characters. But he'll drop, what he just dropped there was a Titanite shard and a twinkling Titanite. I think it was just a normal Titanite shard. Let me see. Titanite chunk. Okay. It's not even useful for us right now. That's a really high level reinforcement stuff. So, beyond this door is the first boss. Finally. Now, I mean, immediately when you walk into this area, you're probably not going to notice it. I mean, look at how the camera goes right here. You don't even see that ladder. But you want to turn around and take a look at your surrounding. What did I say? First thing, when you come to a new area, have your shield up, walk slowly, look at everything. Then you'll notice the ladder. So you want to go up the ladder first. Because these guys are up here. I mean, seriously, what the fuck are these guys doing up here? They're there to ruin your day against this first boss. So, yeah, it's best to go ahead and take out those guys. Alright, so at a certain point on this bridge, you will encounter the boss. It's probably about where these messages are. There he is. Pretty much the first thing you want to do is go back here and go back up this ladder. Now, I made a big mistake. Well, not really a big mistake. It's not a mistake for me. But as a new player, you want to have your gold pine resin ready for this battle. Because this guy takes a lot of damage from the gold pine resin. So what we're going to do, though, is we're just going to bait him again. Get him to come down here, gonna roll in between his legs, and we're gonna run and go back up this ladder. Now, he's gonna look up again, we're gonna do this plunging attack. And we're gonna rinse and repeat. Okay, don't know what I took damage from there, but that was kind of sucky. Okay, he's gonna run at us, and he's gonna do his jumping attack. Yeah, okay. We'll run back towards the ladder. This is probably the... That was close. This is probably the easiest way to fight this guy if you're new and you don't have the gold pine resin for whatever reason. I don't know why you wouldn't have the gold pine resin. Okay. I'll let him follow us all the way to the end here. And just run past him again. He's fast. And I'm not even gonna lie, that dude's fast. That was also really close. I think we can get one more lunging attack on him. I hope. Yeah, that did it. Now, if you have the gold pine resin, that takes a lot less time. In fact, if you have the gold pine resin and you're using it, I would say plunging attack him once, lead him over here, then get back behind him, go up the ladder, and really, if you want to, you can just like wait up there for him to jump up and then finish him off on top, because he will jump up there if you wait too long. Otherwise, he'll just stand there and wait for you to drop on him. So, we're just going to head to the next bonfire. If you look very closely, you can see the item and the corpse here. You can break those boxes to get it. What does this message say? Need right. So that's actually a really good tip right there. It's telling you not to go left immediately. Down here you'll find an NPC. Don't attack this guy yet.
Ah, hello. I am Soler of Astor.
He's got a pretty long dialogue here. You can just kind of read it.
You find that no need to hide your reaction.
He's also another person you want to talk to a second time. No, I don't want to read the message.
Oh, I have a problem.
So you'll just say yes to him
The
here.
way I see it, in a land brimming with so what do you say?
And then you'll say yes again.
Which pleases me greatly.
And he'll give you the white sign soapstone.
Strange beings.
Which is how you do co-op in the game.
Time itself, the very fabric. There's no telling how
And
much
then he
longer
kinda
your
explains
world
it.
and mine. But use this to summon one another and engage in
Jolly cooperation.
But I am a warrior of the sun. If you miss it.
And what he's saying there is that you can summon him for battle. And the next boss fight, actually. Which I don't think I'll summon him, but I'll show it at least. You can't open that, that's locked. So why don't you want to go this way? It looks like there's a bunch of enemies, yeah, but no, that's not the reason. That's the reason. So, yeah. Now you can run across basically safely. He will do fire breath again. Okay, here's the thing. So go down here, don't jump off, kick the ladder. Make sure you kick the ladder. And now, you can go down. I didn't mean to do that. And here's that bonfire we were at beginning. So, gonna level up real quick. I want to see if I can get that strength to 13. Oh, I can. Perfect. So I'm gonna do that and put a point of vitality. That looks pretty good for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.